What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today for another pick a card video. For any of you who are new to my channel, welcome in. My name is Melissa, and today's reading is going to be all about your June 2021 general prediction. I did accidentally upload one version of this video a couple of days ago, so if you guys did see that, please disregard. I ended up deleting it because I just wasn't feeling good when I recorded it, so I wasn't really happy with the way that it came out. So here we are again at a second attempt, and hopefully you guys will enjoy. So this reading, you guys, is just going to kind of give you a little bit of a snapshot into your June outlook. So we'll be able to see kind of like what energies you guys are working with this month, any events of significance that you want to be ready for. All that stuff is what we're going to be digging into in today's video. Keep in mind, these are general in nature, so some messages may resonate super specifically with you while others may not. Please take whatever resonates, leave behind anything that doesn't. If you do want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can do that are linked in the description box down below. Also, keep in mind, you guys, that these pick-a-card readings, these predictive style readings, are never set in stone completely. You do have the free will to make your own choices and decisions to create the outcome that you're looking for. So if you do see something predicted out for you in today's reading that you're not really feeling, don't worry. You're not destined to that outcome. You can always switch it up. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our card selection for today's reading. Starting off here on the left with Group 1, we have some Peach Moonstone. Group 2, we have some Selenite. And then Group 3, we have some Pink Tourmaline. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about your month ahead, the month of June. Go ahead and select the card or the crystal you're feeling the most intuitively guided to. And click the timestamps below to go ahead and skip to your reading. Hey there, group number 1. If you chose this Peach Moonstone, welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and see what is coming your way in the month of June. Starting off with the tarot cards, we have the Page of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Moon card reversed. So I'm already just looking at your cards, pile 1. I'm feeling really happy, cheerful energy coming through from this reading. I do feel like this month ahead is going to feel a lot brighter and lighter for you than maybe months past. We do have this energy of the Moon card being reversed, so I feel like something is coming into the light for you guys this month. The Moon typically talks about, our fears, anxieties, not always being sure about what direction we want to go, not being sure what the future has in stone, but I feel like this month that sense of fear or anxiousness around the future is lifting for you guys. You're starting off your month here with the Page of Pentacles, so I feel like many of you are starting off by exploring something new. You're starting off on maybe a new path, a new journey. I feel like some of you guys might be going to school, taking a class of some sort, but there is this feeling of exploration and learning about something new. Some of you may actually even be receiving a piece of good news with regard to a job opportunity or something in the financial realm or the material realm. I do see that coming through for some of you, but I'm feeling like whatever you all are exploring is really light and bright and fun, and it's something that feels exciting to you. Because I'm just feeling a lot of excitement from this card. I'm also getting a very whimsical energy from this card. So for some of you, this could be about creative endeavors or things that feel like fun, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Now, as we move into the middle of the month of June, we have this message of the Ace of Pentacles. So this is all about putting forth effort and energy into something that's going to have a lot of potential. So I do feel like there is a potential opportunity coming through for some of you here in the middle of the month of June that could yield really fruitful results for you. And when I say fruitful results, I feel like this is about finances, career, your home life, things of that nature. There's a lot of money images coming through here. There's also a lot of fish swimming around here that are in orange color. So again, I do feel like for a lot of you, this is like a very creatively stimulating endeavor. That seems like it's something that could be financially stable for you too because of all the pentacles that we have. And then we also talked about this Moon card. So I do feel like this energy of the Moon reverse, like I was saying, is about kind of this path forward being lifted. So it's almost like the beginning to the middle of the month, we're starting to put in effort and just sort of take those baby steps into this new path, this new journey. And then by the ending of the month, the fears have lifted because it's like, okay, we feel like we have a little bit more groundedness or a little bit more control over the future than maybe we've had in the past. So let's look at some oracle cards here. So we start off here with back on task. Be sure you're using your time in the best possible manner. You might consider reviewing your goals, your schedule, or a project you're working on. All could use some fine-tuning. Yeah. And that's kind of the vibe I was getting here, pile number one. It's almost like this lightning of energy that I'm feeling. Like maybe you guys have been distracted on something in the past. Maybe some of your fears have been holding you back from taking steps forward. This month is very much going to be about taking those baby steps to get yourselves back on track with your goals. We also have single-mindedness. Choose your own path and what's best suited to you. So this is great. This is about you all kind of doing what's right for you and not worrying so much about what other people think or not worrying about other people's expectations of you. Single-mindedness just literally talks about like what's right for you, which is great. We all need to kind of be in that mindset from time to time. I think especially when it comes to our creative endeavors and career decisions and things of that nature. We also have shared inspiration. Throw yourself into a new project, be willing to let go of time constraints and rules, and really be aware of whatever fulfills your heart. Yeah, you all are definitely kind of starting off on something new this month. What's interesting too is with shared inspiration, even though you guys do have single-mindedness here, I do feel like for some of you, there are going to be people around you that are supporting you or maybe collaborating with you on this effort, because we've got these two little fairies here kind of on either side of this little merman child. And then we have like a group of dolphins here, which is making me feel, and we also have the school of fish. So it's making me feel like whatever you guys are working on this month is going to impact other people in a big way, or other people are involved here from a support system perspective. All right, so let's look at these little Lenormand cards. Ooh, so we have the sun. So something you guys are wanting with the sun card is like beautiful, bright, brilliant energy. It's really positive vibes. So like I was saying, you know, this is about, like this month just feels really light and happy for you. But the sun also just talks about, in addition to happiness, it talks about getting something we want, getting a yes to something that we have wanted for a little while. So something you guys have been wanting that brings you a lot of joy and happiness is coming into fruition for you. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, let's take a look at a couple more. Okay, so we do have mice. Mice does kind of talk about paying attention to details, at least for me, it does. Because when I think of mice, they're like really little and they, you know, I don't know why I feel like it means pay attention to details for me, but this card also does talk about anxiety. It talks about just kind of being more aware of your surroundings, which is interesting because we did talk about this moon card and some maybe residual anxieties that you guys are pushing through this month. So I do feel like this message of mice may also just have to do with your own anxieties and maybe not getting too caught up in the things that you can't control, but again, focusing in on taking those little baby steps forward. We also have birds, which is beautiful. Lots of animals coming through here for you. Pile number one. So birds, this talks about partnership, collaboration, conversations. I also, when I think of birds, I think of news coming through. So that also came through this Page of Pentacles. So I definitely am getting the vibe, pile number one, that there is some sort of collaborative effort with people this month that is of significance. You guys are getting some good news. Overall, your reading feels really, really positive. So I would love to hear what aspects of it resonated with you down in the comment box down below. So let me know. Thank you guys for taking the time to view today's reading, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey there, group number two. So if you guys chose the selenite palm stone, let's go ahead and get started with your reading for the month of June. Starting off with our tarot cards, we have the Two of Cups. Love to see that. We then have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. And finally, we end with the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Okay. So this month, you guys, it doesn't really feel like we have a ton of super major energies that you guys are working with. There's no major arcana cards here. But the overall vibe that I'm getting from this is like partnerships and relationships are going to be of the utmost importance to you this month. So starting off your month, we have the Two of Cups. So this talks about being in harmony, in collaboration, partnership, coordination, or just a relationship of significance that is going to be coming through for you guys in the beginning of the month of June. This could be romantic, it could be friendship, it could be career related. It may apply differently depending on who's viewing this video, but there is a relationship of significance that is being highlighted here for you at the beginning of your month. Now, as we move here to the middle of the month of June, we have the Seven of Swords reversed. So this, for me, is almost like about being a little bit more honest about how we're feeling about something. So this could have to do with this relationship. I kind of feel like it does for some of you because this card is being really highlighted for me in the upright here. But Seven of Swords does talk about like learning something that we didn't know before, confessing to something that we hadn't been ready to talk about before, or just being a little bit more open and honest about how we feel and the moves that we want to make versus kind of moving in the shadows or moving in silence. And I do feel that this energy of the Seven of Swords mid-month is going to lead to kind of a slowdown in something or wanting to maybe take things from a more cautious perspective. Because that Eight of Wands does talk about like communication, it's fast, it's passionate, but since it's here reversed, it's almost like slowing things down a little bit is going to be important. So let's get a few more cards and just kind of see what other messages are coming through for you guys. Leaping through the air, a plan you have made is on track. If you're waiting for something, get to work and stop putting off ideas or projects you are considering. Okay. Kind of the opposite vibe of what I was thinking with that Eight of Wands, but you know, there is this energy of progress being made with a project of significance. So if this Eight of Wands, this might be talking about a relationship, but in the background, maybe some of you guys also have creative projects or endeavors that you've been considering for a while, and this is just reassurance that the plan is on track. I also feel like if this may also have to do with whatever you're feeling about talking about within this connection. It's telling you right now that your plan is on track. So go forward with it. We have convey your meaning. Reflect on the way you communicate with others and with yourself. Be sure to express your thoughts and feelings from your heart with respect and sincerity. Makes a ton of sense with that Seven of Swords that we have here in the middle of the month, you guys. So this is all about being honest with other people and being aware, right? Because like, the Seven of Swords in the upright is not always the most like sincere and loving energy because it's very much of like a self-centered energy, meaning that like it's not always a bad thing, but it just means that we're moving in silence. We're not necessarily telling people what we're doing all the time because we're trying to protect ourselves for some reason. So this is really highlighting that it's going to be really important for you to be intentional with your words and to make sure that you're being honest with people about your intentions, period. So I do definitely see something about a relationship or people here with this message. We have keeping it in check. Pay attention to what is going on around you. You might be moving into something too quickly or missing some important details. You guys, that's insane with this Eight of Wands reversed. So it all kind of came together here. And so I feel like this is just about being more aware of your surroundings and making sure you're not moving too fast. So this could be about a business partnership that feels really exciting, that you want to leap into this really fast, but then you kind of learn that maybe you need to take it slow. Could be romantic, could be a lot of different situations here, but there is something here that you're being guided to pay close attention to this month and to make sure that you're not moving too fast into it. So we have the owl. So the owl is interesting. This makes me feel like wisdom is at play here. I'm also really drawn to the fact that this owl doesn't have any eyes open. So this is almost like reiterating this message here of paying attention. Make sure you don't have your eyes closed to things. But the owl traditionally talks about like communication. It talks about the way we speak to one another. This can also be about you guys receiving a message of some sort. But overall, I do feel this owl is echoing this message of communication here that we have. Ooh, we also have the garden. So there is something that is growing for you guys this month, whether it is a creative project or whether it is a relationship of some sort. There's definitely this feeling of community around you this month. Whether this has to do with one specific person or just, a few people in the background in your life, your friend group, family group, whatever it is. There's definitely a sense of fun community that's coming through for you in the month of June as well. And then finally we have bees. So there is something that needs work this month with the bees. Bees, as we know, do a lot of hard work. They work in community, right? Teamwork, things of that nature. So I do think that the bees are kind of also telling you, it's also sort of reiterating this message of conveying your meaning and keeping things in check with your communication, right? Like making sure that you're showing up in this relationship, in this partnership, whatever the case is, feeling like you're being really honest and almost like you're a part of the team, quote unquote. So even if this is like a romantic relationship, you guys should still be viewing that as like a team effort, because it does take two to have a successful romantic relationship. You can't just leave it all up to one person to try to figure out what's going on, right? So teamwork, communication are all being highlighted here around partnerships this month for you, pile 2. So let me know how this message resonated with you. I would love to hear from you in the comment box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Hey there, pile number 3. If you chose the pink tourmaline palm stone, welcome to your reading for the month of June. Let's go ahead and see what is coming through for you this month. So we start off with the Emperor, Queen of Cups reversed, Page of Swords reversed. Okay. So the biggest thing that I'm seeing for you that's being highlighted to me, pile number 3, is this message here of the Emperor. So this feels like boundaries are going to be of significance for you this month. I also see the Emperor as some sort of rules, structure, or regulations being put into place. And this can be something that you're personally setting, or this can also be something that just sort of happens in our environment that we don't necessarily have control over. So this can be about work, like maybe some new rules put into place at your organization that you work at. Could be about like where you live, maybe some new rules or orders are put into place where you live. But this message of the Emperor of like structure and like, it's very stern. You know what I mean? The vibe is very stern with the Emperor. It's very much about like, this is what we have to do, and this is why we're going to do it, and it's because I said so. That's kind of the vibe. And so I do feel that this might cause a little bit of like emotion for some of you, or emotional detachment for some. Because with the Queen of Cups in the middle of the month of June, this almost feels like in response to this structure being put into place, you're detaching from something emotionally, or some of you might be like feeling a little bit overly emotional about the situation, really trying to cope with regaining your balance with regard to the situation here. We also end up your month here with the Page of Swords in the reverse. So the Page of Swords, I feel, is also a little bit more of like detached in reverse, because in the upright, this would be about communication. This would be about like being quizzical, asking more questions, not being afraid to sort of challenge ideas, right? But since it's here in the reverse, it's almost like we're detaching even further from the situation and not really asking those questions. For some of you, this can also be news coming in of some sort that maybe you're not expecting, or news that doesn't feel as cheerful as you want it to be. But let's see what else comes through. We have disengage from outcomes. Let go so you can open yourself to the highest love that you deserve. Find ways to release worry or any unresolved lack of forgiveness you might be holding on to. Right. So that disengage from outcomes definitely makes sense with those feelings of detachment that I was picking up on here. So with whatever this structure or these boundaries that are being put in place are, whether you guys are the ones putting the boundaries in place or whether these boundaries are being put in place toward you in some way, you are being guided here to disengage from the outcomes. Detach a little bit from wanting it to work a certain way, because it's not necessarily about it working in a certain specific way that you want, if that makes sense, okay? Let's see. We also have enjoy the journey. Stay present and flexible. Many changes are going on for you and around you. These changes are not only good, but necessary. Bring your awareness into the now rather than focusing on the past or the future. So again, there's this message about detaching from outcomes here, because detach from outcomes has to do with the future. So I do feel that these boundaries for a lot of you that are being put into place are actually probably good in the long run, because you're being guided here to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. And it does talk about how the changes that are being made here are necessary for your betterment. They're necessary for your growth. So it's going to be really important that you guys try to maybe look at the bright side of the situation versus feeling, stuck in the past, if that makes sense. We also have adrift in shallow water. Take a few deep breaths and reconnect to your inner peace. Notice the small things and appreciate them. Right. So Again, if there is a challenge here around emotionally adapting to this Emperor energy, they're just asking you here to ground yourself. So for some of you, going out in nature would be really helpful for grounding. I know that's one of my goals for this month, is to get outside more. This also speaks of gratitude. So even if this structure and this boundaries that are being implemented are not necessarily, the types of things that bring you joy, or it's not really what you wanted the situation to be like, this is just asking you to remember that there's still many things in your life that you can be grateful for, even the smallest things. Even on the days where you feel like you just have nothing to be grateful for, you can always go outside and find something beautiful to appreciate about nature, or something small, right? All right, let's see what else we have. Ooh, so we have the cat. So this talks about independence, you guys. Cats are very much free-spirited animals. They do not need a bunch of people to validate them because they are totally happy on their own. So I do think that for you guys this month, this Emperor energy is going to challenge you to be a little bit more independent. It's going to challenge you to be a little bit more emotionally detached from relying on other people. In whatever situation this applies to you, whether it's love, friends, work, whatever the case is. So you are really kind of striking out on a new journey with this month. And it's going to really challenge you to become a bit more independent, a bit more confident being by yourself. We also have they. So this is just like a gender neutral person of significance. So this means that there is a person of significance in your life that I feel like this reading is talking about for this month. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of getting the vibe with that Emperor energy that this is like boundaries that you guys are putting down with like a person or a love interest or something like that, because of the Queen of Cups being reversed and the emotion behind it. It feels more relationship to me, although it doesn't necessarily have to be because everybody's situations are different. But this is just saying there's a person of significance in your life that this reading is applying to. Ooh, we also have the message of Tower. So again, this is so crazy, you guys, because this Tower also talks about boundaries. It talks about protection. It also talks about confinement. And it's interesting too, because boundaries is like one of the first things that I saw coming through with that Emperor energy. So there is something here that you guys are setting boundaries around this month that I think is involving you detaching from a person of significance, or a situation that you have just felt very emotionally tied to in the past. But I do see a lot of positive messages coming through for you here, pile 3, with this situation. Like, it feels like whatever is going on with this is actually for your betterment. It's actually going to help you be better in the long run. So you all are just really being guided to like enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, be curious about new things. That's what the cat also talks about, is being curious to explore, being curious about different things that are outside your comfort zone. So let me know, pile 3. I'm certainly curious to hear how these messages resonated with you. So drop me a comment down in the comment box below. Thank you all so much for taking the time to view today's reading, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.